Hey, footy fans, welcome to the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. I'm your host, Dave, and today I'm super excited to have my first female and current player on the show. It's the one and only St. Helens legend, Channy Crowl. How you going, champ?
Hey, Davey, all right. Nice to
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
you.
Yeah, same to you. Nice and early here in New Zealand with the time difference. Got the bags under the eyes after getting up early, but thanks so much for coming on the show. So there's been some amazing developments in the female game over there in the UK. Would you like to tell us the exciting news?
Yeah, so at St. Helens, we're the first women to be paid under the club. So, it's a brilliant circumstance for the women's game. And what a privilege it is to be one of the first women within the squad to get that payment. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty massive, eh? So, is it like the rest of the competition going to be going that direction, or is it just St. Helens at this stage?
No, there's some other teams in that direction. Last year there was a couple of teams as well that were getting, some payment agreements. Might have not been as much as it is this year and this season, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of competition and some figures being thrown around. Um, us as a club, we waited. We had some meetings, and it was kind of tough to sit back and wait to see if we were getting paid or not, and they said we weren't. So it was definitely tough because people were offering out, little contracts and do you want to come to our team and do you want a little bit of payment for each game you're playing? So, but I think we did it the right way and implemented the right payment plan at the right time.
So, does this mean you can do this full time, or are you still having to work on the side at all?
We're not there just yet.
Yeah,
This is just like a bit of a stepping stone, but it's an amazing stepping stone in the right direction for all female athletes.
absolutely. It's got to start somewhere, eh? So, if you can get this off the ground, then it can only get better from here. So that's bloody fantastic. So,
Yeah.
before we go back to the beginning of your league career, what do you get up to outside of footy? What's a typical day in the life of Channy Crowl?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to really know that?
I do.
No, it's all fun and games. Yeah, I go to work. I drive trucks, wagons. I deliver beer and stock and kegs. Typical man's job. But I love the physicalness of it. I love proving people wrong. I like it when people walk past the truck and they go, "Is that a woman? What are you doing up there?" So yeah, no, I get up to. So I'm just really working there. I get up to other sports like touch rugby outside. Um, yeah, and just day to day life. But my main focus is rugby league. I train hard for it, gym well for it, and yeah, I'll continue to work hard for that as well.
Right. So when you're not driving lorries and at the gym, what do you do to relax? What would be the one thing you would do that just takes you away from everything?
I don't really think I have a relaxing bone in my body, if I'm being honest. I don't know. Just chilling out, going out with friends. Yeah, like I say, I don't know. I just hit back, go and watch the other rugby,
Yeah.
going out. Everyone loves a bit of TV. But yeah, no, my main focus is rugby league, and it takes up a lot of time and a lot of effort. It takes you away from your family. So yeah, that's what I do most of my time.
Okay, okay. Right. So if we go all the way back to the beginning, where did you grow up and what was life like for you as a young Shandy Crow?
So I was born and raised in Canada, Toronto.
Right.
And yeah, I was yeah, it was pretty crazy. So my mum moved out there for like 10 years, obviously had me. And then unfortunately my granddad passed, so we had to move back when I was a young age. I was about 7 years old, and yeah, they had no they had no like basketball, ice hockey, baseball. So when I came over, I was sort of trying to find my feet into other sports, and I was even trying karate, thinking, oh, Yeah, a couple of digs here, a couple of digs there. Try just because I was kind of an active child.
Yeah.
Um, and I turned 8. I think I've been trying to find a sport for about a year. Then I turned 8 and I found rugby league, and oh, I just fell in love with it straight away. And yes, I'm still in love with it to this day. So yeah, that's basically it.
Brilliant, brilliant. So what was the appeal about rugby league that brought you in? Was it like the pace, the contact, or smashing people? Like, what was it?
Smashing people for free. That's it.
That's the one.
um, yeah. Yeah, it was just like the contact of it. The drive of it, having teammates around you, the culture,
Yeah,
everything just attracted me to the game. Like there's different age, sexualities, like different sizes, everything, and yeah, everyone's just made to feel equal. Very family sport. Um,
nice.
but yeah, definitely the contact was one because I thrive off my defense work anyway, as it is. And yeah, I just loved it. Just honestly, just fell in love with it. It's
You
great.
just love you just love folding people in half, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know?
I can tell.
Yeah. Good times, good
So
times.
so when you were about 8 years old, was it? You played for Luntz Heath Primary School, Widnes. Was there many girls playing league back then?
Honestly, no, just me and my best friend Alex for Milo. I know you've had
Oh,
Senny for
yes.
Milo on the show before. Yeah, he's a close person to me, and
Yeah.
obviously his daughter Alex. I grew up with her since day dot since I moved over to England, and there
Wow.
was just us two beasts in the middle of this park with lads everywhere. Every team we played against didn't really have any girls, so yeah, so it was great, and it was great to have uh not that men are stronger and stuff, but they typically are in the testosterone. So it was good.
Yeah.
It was good to get that involvement against them and build our strength and power against growing lads. So um maybe it made us as tough as we are today, I guess. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that off the top of my head. I was thinking maybe that's what like hardened you up, maybe compared to other
Yeah.
ladies that were playing just with ladies. I mean, you're mixing it with the big boys. Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of pathway now as well for women and girls. So,
that's good.
like under 16s and the 19s, even in schools, there's just women's teams now. It's not always mixed. So,
Okay.
yeah, no, yeah, but it was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. So what position did you play back, like way back in the junior days? Because you're a forward now, but were you like a fleet-footed back then, or you know, in the pack?
Well, so I tended to be attracted to the English food, so I added on a couple pounds. So I started
Oh,
in the
funny.
middle, being a prop, me and Alex both.
Okay.
And as it went on, I got fitter, got healthier. I was training really hard. I was taking it very seriously, and believe it or not, I went to second row, and then I ended up being a centre at one point. Um, so that was kind of eye opening to feeling fast and thin and fit. But honestly, I did miss being in the middle of the park. Um, but right now, obviously, the game being elite as it is, I think you can still be healthy, fit, thin, and then still play in the middle and still be as strong as everyone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I'm a prop now. To be fair.
Nice, nice. So, what was the strength of the local competition like when you played? I think it was the team, the Moorfield Angels, through your high school years. What are your memories of playing back then, and how strong was the competition?
Um, Moorfield Angels was really when I grew my theory of the game. I think
Okay,
they had a really good coach, a good manager. They really thrived at the club for the women's game and our women's team. And I just remember the competition going higher and higher. Faye Gaskin, who plays at St Helens with me now, she used to play there with me.
okay,
Um, and she learned some great skills as a halfback there. And we also, the competition was really high because Emily and Jodie, both current and previous England captain, they play with me at Saints now.
Oh,
They used
cool.
to play, excuse me, they used to play for Warrington and they used to play against us.
Ah,
And we'd always meet in finals and in championships and stuff like that. So, and they were just as tough as they are now back then.
okay.
So yeah, the competition did it was definitely heavy. It was good. But that's where you sort of seen the change in the women's game. So it was
Yeah,
yeah, it was really good. It was good.
very cool. So what did you do around those years, like, in your high school years to stay fit? Were you like still really motivated back then? Get up early, go for that run, or train after high school or whatever?
Um, Not as much so, but I definitely when I started to lose weight and I was near the end stages of Moorfield, I did tend to like try and go for runs and stuff. And no matter how much I was out of breath, I was trying to add in some interval training. So if I was out of breath, I've done so many minutes and stop like the heart rate work, things like that, then get back into it. I tried to pull Alex along with me, but she wouldn't come. But yeah, no, yeah, I did find myself starting to make a change to be an athlete, not for my body image. It was to be the athlete that I've always wanted to be. And yeah, I did myself quite proud, if I'm being honest.
That's a perfect lead into my next question, which was, did you have any thoughts about playing at the highest level back then, and what motivated you to do that, if you did?
In all honesty, I feel like I never knew where the pathway was going to go. I feel
Mhm.
like I don't know. I did not really know about England, or I didn't even think I was that good enough to even get to like England or a World Cup. So I think my pathway, like I thought about my pathway being just to make it to open age and just being a strong, independent woman out on a rugby field, getting that starting shirt, things like that.
Mhm.
So it wasn't till I hit open age, till I started hearing about all these England girls getting scouted, going and playing in France, going to World
Mhm.
Cups, the games growing, how like the women getting all these finances and stuff are down in Aussie. So um yeah, it wasn't till open age. So yeah, it was kind of late within my career.
Okay. All right. And so you went and played, like as you said, the open age women's team in Warrington. So was this a much bigger step up for you? Like, did you find that level much harder than your teen years?
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. I remember the first shot someone put on me. I must have hit the floor like a sack of spuds. It was awful. It was so bad. Yeah, like because this day and age, we've got, like I said, pathways. So under 16s, under 19s before you hit open age. You got even
Yeah.
under 21s in places. We went from 16 to playing with full grown 35 women. And it was
That's scary.
definitely an eye opener. Yeah, it was an eye opener. Because I remember just being stood on the pitch thinking I was big. I looked at these and these were hench, and I was thinking, what am I meant to do? What what skills can I what runs skillage can I do against these women? So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of scary. It was definitely a big step up in the game.
Yeah. Did you eventually learn to thrive on it though? Because you said you love hitting people. So was there a slow or fast progression to like, I'm owning this, and I'm just gonna smash these girls?
Yeah, yeah. No, there was, in all honesty, there was a fast progression, and I like a challenge.
Yeah.
I like to prove myself wrong and prove people wrong. So I definitely wanted to be an England player. I definitely wanted to be in World Cup. So I I taught myself how to like add weight to tackles, take on these people one on one, even
Yeah.
if even if I was getting hit on the floor, I was slowing down the play for other tacklers to come in. So I was just teaching myself with these extra one percenters to you know, just getting my head in the game and just be this elite star no what size, no matter what size I was, really.
Yeah. And were there any struggles or challenges on that little path there, like in stepping up to the next level? Is there anything that you can think of that, was a real challenge?
Um, well, personally, I had my own personal challenges. I think everyone does through life. And at some point, I thought I was gonna go backwards, maybe.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't make it ever. But um, no, I think if anything, if them challenges didn't pay off, or I felt like I hadn't won, or I hadn't done enough. I started to use it as fuel to go even harder. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, in the end, they all paid off, definitely.
That's so cool. Using a negative as like a positive, to run
Yeah,
with it. I
I
like
think
that.
I think I think I had to. I just taught myself that, and I think a lot of people need to use the negatives as a positive, definitely.
That's amazing. I love it. So, what did you do to prepare and recover for each game? Like, what was your typical footy weekend for yourself?
Definitely not drinking.
Oh, I'm out then. I'm out.
um, Um, no, so yeah, if we were prepping for a game, well, we'd have training the week before, but the day before game day, you relax, you might do a bit of mobilization, bit of foam rolling, some
Yeah.
stretching. Your nutrition is a big part as well. So eating healthy, eating right, taking on them greens, and then obviously game day go hard out. And then recovery. You want to fuel back up on your nutrition. Definitely, that's like the biggest part. Rebuilding your insides. And then the day after, people think, oh, I'm so sore now, but it's so much better to get into, like, a quick flush. So don't just sit around. So recovery is in like a little bike session, swim,
Yeah.
stretching, and then, in all honesty, go light the next day and get back into training. You might even have repair shots. Beetroot shots are good for recovery. And all these things just added in along the way. So yeah, I feel good after recovery now. It's great.
That's awesome. So it's like a whole lot of 1% things can add up to, say, a lot of percent of recovery if you do them all.
Yeah, and if you do them all right. So even adding like a bit of sauna and steam room in as well,
Okay.
just flushes you all out. So yeah, no, it's great. And it's great that we've got people on board to teach us these kind of things. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big privilege to have at Saints, and well, along the pathway, even at Thatto Heath or at England International, having these people come in and work with us is really good.
Yeah. Speaking of Thatto Heath Crusaders, is you played for them when you were about 21, and this was when things started to get more serious for you, playing at the top level in women's rugby league in England. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll be for a very successful team.
Yeah.
And a lot of us got signed onto Saints, so we've been playing for years together. We're like one big family. And I think that's why we gel so much. I think we won the Challenge Cup 4 years in a row.
Wow.
Um,
How
we're
good.
on 3 years in a row at St Helens as well, so we're going for another fourth
Wow.
this season. So it's phenomenal. But yeah, no, Thatto Heath was a really good squad. Um, the club was amazing. The coaching staff were amazing. And you could see the hard work that everyone was putting in.
Yeah.
When we played at Fatto, this is where we started to get fencing round the pitches. So
Yeah.
I know it wasn't a stadium, but we were like, oh God, the 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 fans, the audience, they can't even touch us now, or they can't be on the
Wow.
sidelines, or stepping in front of the touchline refs. So Yeah, no, it was a big step up, and things like that were just remarkable to see along the
Yeah.
way. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's good. It was better than having to pick up dog poo and flick it
Yeah.
off. That's what we used to play on. So getting to that level was really really good. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. So in 2017, as you said, the Women's Super League was officially named. The sport was beginning to grow in profile. The comp expanded, and you guys, as you said, got taken over by St. Helens. Is that correct? And
Yeah.
you've been St. Helens ever since. It must have been so amazing to see like the growth and popularity in the women's game finally starting to shape its way forward.
Yeah, yeah, so St. Helens took us on at the start of the Super League. So that was phenomenal in itself, knowing that a club wanted us to be part of the squad. We had a couple of trials, and having all of us signed over was really nice because we didn't want to lose anyone. We were such a big family. Obviously, we took our mums and dads and everyone, but as it started to grow, it wasn't just them. It started to be fans that watched the men's game,
Yeah.
season ticket holders.
Wow.
We had kids, we had like it was just amazing. And I think as the years went on, I remember going to a game and I where were we playing? Don't know if we were playing at Leeds. I think it was about 3 years in or something. And we just don't know if we were. Oh no, Challenge Cup it was against York, being
Okay.
played at York. I think it was our first or second one we won this with Saints. And I remember we got changed and we walked out the changing room, and there was men asking for a picture with us, and we were
Oh,
just like
cool.
men asking for a picture with us because normally it was like younger girls or like your
Yeah.
mum or your cousin, and it was just these random men asking for pictures, and that's when it was eye opening to know that like other people are watching the game, they're tuning
Yeah.
in, and then it's going out on Sky. Um, and there is actually people tuning in to watch you play.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, it's just honestly just a privilege to be part of.
Yeah, like professional athletes now, so people they want to get amongst it.
Yeah,
We love supporting sport. The
yeah,
NRLW
yeah, yeah,
over down under here is really taking off, and it's fantastic to see the
yeah.
growth in the game. It's so good. So I also read you captained Lancashire. Is this like a rep side that you captained, and like what competition was that in?
So, back in the day when you used to trial for England, it was you sort of get picked. So you get scouted and picked off your team for like a Lancashire, Yorkshire.
Right.
So it'd be like us, Lee, Wigan. We'd go if you got selected, you get picked for Lancashire. Vice versa for the Yorkshire
Right.
teams. And yeah, I'd been picked for a few years on the run, and then one year I got to captain.
Yeah.
And everyone knows how like bubbly and active I can be. So everyone was like, "Are you sure about this?" And do you know what? I'm serious when I need to be serious, and I'm fun when I need to be fun. And rugby means a lot to me, so I took the role with it. And we were the underdogs that year, but we'd
Yeah.
won near enough every year as Lancashire. And
Wow.
everyone was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" Like we're not. No one's certain about this team. And yeah, we managed to pull it off and win. And yeah, it was
Wow.
the first team I captained to a win. And yeah, it'll forever be a good memory of mine.
I bet. So did you like enjoy that role at all?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I like being a leader. Um, Especially if people have the trust in me to do it, and can see potential of me doing it. I love
Yeah.
being a leader, and I like being a fun leader as well. But I feel like, you know, it, if it was to ever happen, it's to happen. But just getting that opportunity, even that one time, was great for me.
Yeah. So so you said you're like a natural leader probably anyway. So what's your style on the field? Are you like real chatty with your teammates, like keeping everyone focused, or are you good at pulling people up when they're down or they've made an error, or like how does that work for you?
I'd like to think I can pull someone up when they're feeling down, or like we have a team call, if people are losing their heads a bit. Um, I try and motivate my teammates, if anything, and I think they do the same for me whenever I'm down or if I've made a mistake. So I'd
Yeah.
always love to give back to them. Um, yeah, I try. I'm quite the fun one, so I like to keep the fun in the team.
Oh,
Try and keep everyone laughing, but then I'm serious when I need to be serious at training. But I think have fun while you're enjoying something that you love to do.
absolutely. So when you're on the field, do you go like what's your sort of mental side of the game? Are you just focusing on one job, then what's my next job? What's my next job? Or do you overthink? Like I would probably think way too much on the field. You know? Or do you just take what comes at you? You know?
Um, no, I will. Before I get on the field, I always challenge myself and give myself some challenges to do and what I want to do in my role on the team. Um, I always go through the steps of my job as my role,
Okay.
and make sure that I do them to a T, really. Yeah, and I don't know. I just keep focused on what I need to do, really. That will help my teammates get the win. So
Yeah.
it's like you're doing it for your squad. You're not doing it for yourself. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, basically, yeah, just concentrating on your job, really.
Okay. So what happens when either yourself or a teammate might make a mistake, like say you miss a tackle leads to a try, or you drop the ball? Do you beat yourself up over that, or do you just flush it out quickly? Like how good are you at just moving on and letting that go?
Uh, um, I'm okay. I guess it's hard when it happens like continuously. It gets a bit like frustrating. You
Yeah,
end up in your head a little bit.
yeah,
Um, but in all honesty, I think mistakes are going to happen, and a good team has mistakes because you're trying to play, you're trying to do these things, you're
yeah,
testing the waters. So yeah, like mistakes are gonna happen. All our teammates pick each other up really, really well. Um, yeah. So, and there's no point getting in your head, because if you get in your head, you're just gonna make more errors. I think.
yeah,
It's easier said than done. It really is. It really, really is. Because
yeah,
I've been there as well. But you've just gotta use that as fuel and take it into a positive, and then switch and stand out, make an impact.
yeah.
Yeah, so just turn it up, innit?
Have you ever had a game where you've just like had an absolute mare and dropped the ball every time it's thrown at you? Have you ever had one of those?
Yeah, yeah. Who hasn't? Who hasn't? I think I ended up started putting the glue on, or pre tape on. I was like, get some of that to me, physio. Um, yeah, I have had them, or just like even tackling techniques and things like that, or sliding off the tackling, or not finding your front enough. It gets in your head because that's what you want to do. So every run that you're doing, you're like, I better find my front, I better find my front, and then if you don't, you're like, oh. So, um, yeah, so it is easy to lose head, but you just got to find your balance, really.
Yeah. So out on the field, like there's definitely tough times like your errors and missed tackles, but what about the niggle and the toughness of the girls? Like, because most people think, oh, ladies rugby, but like you girls are tough, man. Like, is there a lot of dirty shit that goes on in the game, in the scrums and whatever?
Uh, now now there's not as much, honestly. Like everyone's quite athletic, like an athlete mindset. Um, Back in the day in the scrums, there might have
Okay.
been a few maybe nipple twists, things like that.
Oh
There
God.
was definitely a couple of hair pulls.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. There's some things that I said. I think it's just to get in your head, really, and
Yeah.
wind you up. Like who doesn't? I think it goes on in the men's game all the time. So,
Oh yeah.
um, but yeah, it's how you let it affect you. You've got to come out of it, because when I first started playing, it was not a chance I would let anyone walk away from me if they were saying that. So, but now I've learned to deal with it quite well. Yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. Oh, that's funny. So let's have a talk about your international career. You were first
Yeah.
selected for England to make your debut against France. Where were you? What was it like when you heard your name called out for England? You know, pulling on the jersey for the first time and all that stuff. And what's that like for you?
Well, I think yeah, from 2014 it was sort of my goal, and then 2016, I think I got a letter through the door, and I remember seeing it, and I remember seeing like I think it had an England stamp on it or the Three Lions, and I was like,
Yeah.
no,
No
no
way.
way, you are lying. And I opened it up, and yeah, it was like we'd like to invite you in to the national performance squad, getting ready for England to play France and all this. And I was just like, what? So we went to Featherstone, and I
Yeah.
got geared up. I looked around, and in all honesty, I knew a few people, but the other people that I've been playing against, um, I don't know if they really like me. So I just sort of sat there trying to fit in, and like everyone was booted up and ready to go. Here's me still with one boot hanging off. Like I was, because everything was so organized and structured. I
Right.
wasn't used to it, and I didn't know the layout of the day. So I was like, oh God, I better get my boots on. And yeah, I just remember thinking, like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. I want to make sure I go to France. So let's just kill it.
Yep.
And yeah, I continued for the next 8 years.
It's
So
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
What's it like pulling on the jersey and running out for the first time? You know, representing your
Oh,
country. Like that's amazing.
yeah. It's Do you know what gets you? It's the national anthem. The national
Yeah.
anthem is and in all honesty, I used to mix up my words because at one point I knew the Canada one, and then I was channeling the England one. I was like, oh God. So but yeah, when you go out there and you hear people who've come to support you, all the fans, everyone stood there singing the national anthem. It's honestly mind blowing, and
Yeah.
like just getting ready for kickoff, just the roar of like. There's not just English and France fans there. There's like everyone part of the rugby community there. So
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, definitely some
Cool.
memories that I'll never forget, and it never gets old. Honestly, it never gets
No.
old.
No, I love
No,
that. It's just like, appreciate every single time because you never know when it's going to be that season ending injury or career ending injury. You just never know.
exactly. So, and I did go through an injury while I was playing with England. Well, it was just before. I think it was a Lancashire Yorkshire game, and I was getting ready to go to France. I think at the end of the year, I was also going into the RAF, and I was about
Okay.
to pass my parade, and I don't really get injured, so I was like, if I ever was to get injured, I'd be like, I am injured, get me off. If it was just a dead leg, I'd be like, come on, carry on.
Yeah.
And I remember walking out in Warrington Stadium, and I think it was just after the second half, and someone had tackled me wrong, and I'd gone on my ankle, and I
Okay.
just remember hearing it rip, and I
Oh,
remember the pain, and I was just like, I'm injured here.
rigid.
So I was like, stretching me off right now, get me off, get on with the game. And then
Yeah.
when I got behind the scenes, my England coach came down. He was like asking the doc, is she going to be all right? Things like that. He was like, it looks like a grade C avulsion fracture. And I'm thinking, oh no, what is this? And as time went on, we tried to rehab it really quickly, get some acupuncture done, things like
Yeah.
that. Like St. Helens were amazing to me. And unfortunately I couldn't go, and I missed out on a
Uh,
big tour. I missed out on my RAF parade, which they said I would need to start the whole process again. So I lost out on a big job career there for me.
oh,
And
got it.
yeah, yeah, and it was a really, really down down point of my life where
Yeah.
I felt like, oh, everything's just gone at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, picking myself back up out of that hole was it was quite tough, but it was eye opening for me to realize, like, anything can happen. So you've got to
Yeah.
make the most of it while you can.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, straight up.
So 2017, you're named to go to the Rugby League World Cup with England, play for the Lionesses. Tell us about the whole experience, because I assume it wasn't just a case of you guys got paid to go over there and play. I assume you would have had to fundraise and do all that type of stuff to get there. And, you know, tell us about the whole experience.
Yeah, so 2017 World Cup. I honestly could not believe it. I was like, I've only played for like, what did I do? I played for 2 years, 1 year. I think I had 2 or 3 international games, and then I was going to a World Cup. I
So
was
cool.
like, oh my gosh. And Australia too. I was like, woo,
Yeah.
get me to Oz. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was phenomenal because it was the first year I think it was played against alongside the men's. Um,
Yes.
I think it was televised. So it was a massive year for the women, massive. Um, and yeah, when we got over there, there was just media. There was so much going on. TV cameras everywhere in your face, and I was just like, I was astonished that I was even here. So I was in this moment thinking, how have I actually got here?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to fundraise ourselves, and that's what was hard back then, because even if you got selected, you might not have been able to afford to go. You might not have got the time
No.
off work. So it was so hard. But yeah, I managed to get the funds together and get straight on out there, and
So
wasn't it
cool.
at all to remember?
Yeah. What are some
Yeah.
of the good stories? You must have one good story of Australia.
That I got ran over about 600 times. Oh God. Yeah. No, I think I remember just breaking the line a couple of times or finding my front. I watched some things back now and I think I was absolutely awful compared to what I was now. But just just the little 1%ers in the game was really the biggest highlight for me. And my
Yeah.
best friend Alex had moved out to New Zealand then. She'd How long has she been gone for? I'm not too sure how long she'd been gone for, but I hadn't seen her in ages, and I used to see her every day, so it was kind
Yeah.
of hard for me. And she came out, so she came out to Australia, and just having that time spent with her and having her to support me there was probably the best moment and the best memory I've
Nice.
got. Yeah, so I got to spend the week with her and have her shouting my name. So yeah, no, it was a big deal for me. She means a
Yeah.
lot. So yeah.
Cool. And you guys had an awesome win. You played off the bench against Papua New Guinea and gave them a bit of a hiding. Yeah, what was that like? Getting a win at a World Cup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a big win because we knew they were aggressive.
Oh yeah.
They 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 are strong, very, very strong. And you look at them and you don't think they're gonna be, but even the petite little girls or the wingers, they run at you that fast with full pelt, with power, like oh, it's just unbelievable. And it's hard because I was trying to be that technical with things, all of us were, and these were hanging off our ears, our hair, very in your face, and it was just you just knew you were in an international game, and to come out on top with the win was really, really good. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was boss.
Yeah, that's so cool, eh? So were there any certain players you like looked up to, like say from the Australian squad or anything? I think that Ruan Sims, she's a bit of a big name in the Jillaroos, and obviously got three brothers in the NRL back then. And yeah,
Yeah,
was there
yeah,
any other
yeah.
players you looked up to at all that you were like, holy crap, I'm playing against these guys?
All honesty, I think Ali Brigginshaw's name goes everywhere, but she was like a half. But I remember when I did watch it, she was like a main one, and like Steph Hancock.
Mhm.
Other than that, I wasn't that clued up by then, by that
Okay.
time. So they were the main names I remembered. Obviously when I went out there to play, um, the two centres like Isabel Kelly, Jess, what's Jess's name? Her name's Jess anyway. Everyone will know. It'll come to me soon. But they were honestly like amazing. They ran like forwards when they were like centers,
Wow.
and yeah, they were just really good. Like now I try and watch the NRW a lot more because I feel like the skill and how they are on and off the field and the professionalism is just it's quite amazing to watch and to see. And it helps me with my game.
Yeah.
And I think it was a big eye opener when I was playing against the Jillaroos. Even the Kiwis were so strong. If I wanted to be an international player and I wanted to grow, then I definitely need to step up my game. And Jillaroos in New Zealand, like they have more equipment, more finances, more money in the sport. Um, but it's what you do away from your squad as well, all your extras. So yeah, it just made me wanna fight for being that better athlete that
Yeah,
I
right.
will I hopefully have become.
Sounds like you have to me, definitely. You're doing all those little things
Cheers,
right,
Dave.
you know. So also 2019, you went to Papua New Guinea, which is pretty awesome because I love asking people about their experiences in Papua New Guinea. What were your
Oh
initial
God.
thoughts when you actually arrived there,
Oh.
like the country itself?
Uh, oh God. Yeah. Do you know what? I was so psyched because we were the first females to go out there.
Yeah,
We were the first ones to go to Goroka as well. Not even Port Moresby, the capital, to go to Goroka. And we got off the bus. We got off the plane, sorry, and there was just banners and posters. There was all tribal peoples dancing, singing, and oh, the culture there was just phenomenal. But
yeah.
all I could think about was, do they still have cannibalism? So,
So,
yeah, we walked out, and it was kind of hard actually because we had to hand sanitize after we shook hands and met, and I totally get it, but I felt kind of rude.
yeah,
And but like the life that they bring and the joyness that they brought to myself was unbelievable because they made us all billums, like these
yeah.
bags that they make, and it's
Okay.
like out of respect, and they put all their time and effort and paid 10 kina to come to our game when some of them didn't even have shoes, and that was
Yeah,
just it was so heartwarming for me to see that. um like they were still so happy. All the kids were so happy, even though they went to school without, you know, a shoe on or the right outfit,
yeah,
uniform, and it just brought me a lot of joy. We got to go out to like the hospitals, and mingle with all the unhealthy ones as well, which was nice to
wow.
see. Um, we got to give back like some kit. Um, but it was we went to the game and it all had fencing on, and we tried to give like our socks and shorts to people, but the the men would stand on the kids to get our kit, and
Wow.
everyone was just pushing each other's face into the fence and things. So we had to try and like keep them all quite calm. But you just wanted that one person to have that certain summit or give the kids and that some of your kit, and yeah, we get taken off them. So in that sense, it was hard to see and hard to watch, but that's how they
Yeah,
live.
yeah,
But in other senses, the joy that they had and the joy that they brought me, and the respectfulness, and You know, me bringing just playing in a game of rugby that brought a smile to a child's face was just phenomenal, and it's memories that will stick with me forever, definitely.
I bet they will.
Oh God,
I
yeah, yeah,
I think it's awesome that they're just as fanatical about the ladies' game as well, like the women's game, because they're crazy. When Kiwis would go
yeah,
over
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever, but to hear the same sort of stories for the women as well, I think that's awesome. They just love
yeah,
it, like
yeah.
they are
It was
fanatical.
Yeah, it was crazy. As we left the airport, they were shaking the bus and they were like, "Whoa!" Yeah, so yeah, it was just awesome because obviously I get it's a national sport, but like you
Yeah,
say, they're crazy for the men. Like,
yeah,
would they be crazy about the women playing? And yeah, they were just as wild for it.
it's so cool.
We had the population in Goroka, I think, is 10,000. We had 7,700 at our game,
Wow.
and it was amazing. And some of them don't have money, and it costs 10 kina to get in. So having all them people arrive was just
Yeah.
surreal. Yeah, yeah, it was great.
Did you have the whole people hanging out of trees and all that around the stadium sort of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're the ones that probably didn't pay to get in, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were all up in trees, hanging off the fences. Yeah, it was yeah, yeah. I can see it now as well. It's crazy. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful country, and uh, yeah, you just want the best for everyone out there, really.
Yeah. It's so good. I'm going to put a compilation of everyone's Papua New Guinea stories together from all the podcasts. It's going to be so good.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
of the
yeah.
stories I've
It's
been told are unreal.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are wild, but yeah, it's good.
okay, so you played in the World Cup nines in Brisbane. So what's it like playing the short form of the game for you?
Oh, a short form is in smaller squad,
Well, like nines, so like it's faster. The games are shorter.
faster and shorter.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was challenging. It was very challenging. I was quite surprised that I actually got selected to go, if I'm being honest. But I like that the coach believed in me to go. I think I was a bit fitter than I was in the 2017 World Cup, and yeah, I didn't play against Papua New Guinea, but when I did get the chance to play, I got to play against the Jillaroos. I think I played 15 out of the 18 minutes straight through. I think I got taken off
Wow,
like last couple of minutes,
that'd be tough, man.
which yeah, it was really, really tough because I'm used to, well, in touch rugby, you normally like sub kind of quick and that.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was tough to stay on for there. I did end up setting up a little bit of a try, which it because I thought I wasn't doing as well as I was, and us as England, we did get beasted a few times by the Jillaroos. So just to have them little moments within the game, I really enjoyed it, and I
yeah,
enjoy touch. I enjoy the speed of it, the
that's great, eh?
fastness of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because it was different, it gave me like a bit of a challenge. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I really enjoyed it.
Good
Yeah, it
to
was
mix
good.
it up. Good to mix it up.
Yeah,
And you said you'd been to Jamaica to play rugby league. So what's that all about? Like I
yeah,
didn't even know they played rugby league, and I saw them at the World Cup in the men's game last year or whenever the World Cup was. So who knew about that? So what led you to
yeah.
Jamaica?
So I don't know if you've seen the documentary. There's a documentary with England last 2021, 2022. Sorry, where the World Cup was,
Yeah,
just before the World Cup. And unfortunately, like things happen. I didn't make it into the last 23 players. And obviously, I'm born and raised in Canada, and I've always had a relationship with the coach and been speaking to him the odd time. And he gave me the opportunity to go out and play in the North, the America's North Championships, if I've
okay.
got that right. So yeah, it was an opportunity that I couldn't say no to, really.
Really?
Like, how can you say no to that?
You
So I
can't,
flew back over to Toronto. seeing my family and my dad and everyone who still lives out there, my brothers and sisters. Uh, then we went out and trained, and then yeah, we went to Jamaica and we played against Jamaica and the USA team. Jamaica,
Awesome.
newly formed. Um, it's just like in the World Cup, like Brazil coming together. And now there's Fijians. Like it
Yeah.
is growing everywhere. But this is what we want. We want
Yeah.
competition. We want more women playing. So yeah, I loved it.
That's so cool.
It was
Honestly, what an
very
experience.
hot though. I'll tell you that.
I bet.
Very, very hot. Yeah.
Uh, Speaking of conditions, how do you find playing in the UK? Like, I guess, do you play in the summer now? Is that right?
Play
So
in
it's
the
not so
summer,
bad?
but we've started now and it's absolute mud bath at the minute. So we say we play in the summer, but not really.
Oh,
Because even in the summer, let's be honest, you just get rain all the time, don't you, in England? Um, but yeah, no, we're a summer league. You can't play in winter league, but it's just too cold. I'm not really one to play in the rain. I don't thrive off it. Like I feel like there's loads of knock-ons, so it slows the play down a bit. Um, but yeah, no, when you get a good day, it's I think us as Saints as a team, we like to play when it's warm and when it's fresh. So yeah,
nice.
it works for us. Works for us really well.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about the big year, 2021. You got 10 teams in the comp. You had a season to remember. You went from the back row into the forwards, picking up 5 tries. You got the treble with St. Helens. You won the grand final, the League Leaders Shield, and the Challenge Cup victory. You got like player of the match in the final. Like, talk us through it all. Let's start with the grand final. What was the build up
Oh
like,
God.
and how did you prepare for the
Uh,
big game?
it's hard to talk about it without like trying to look big headed.
This is
um,
your moment. Talk about it. Go.
oh, I don't know. Like to make history with, especially with Saints, it was phenomenal, and we never thought like anything like that could happen. But once we'd got the double, I think our aim was to get to the treble.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's some great teams and squads out there. So to get all three was just amazing. Um, being picked as well, for the starting shirt in all three games, like the finals, that's amazing. But then to get the play of the match in the grand final, yeah.
Boy, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
uh, it was cool, yeah. It was wicked to get. I remember I just got pulled off. I think I played about 73, 75 minutes, and he
Yeah.
pulled me off. And then I heard my name in the stand, and everyone was like, "Hey, Channy," and I'm going, What's he on about? What's he talking about me for?" And they're all like, "Yeah, you got played the match," and I was like, "No, you're lying."
Oh,
Uh,
really?
so yeah, definitely made me believe more in myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Especially it's such a big game. Yeah.
yeah, it was a huge game, and it was broadcasting on Sky. Leeds were obviously, they're a big rivalry team for us, and they're a great squad. So yeah, it was good. It was amazing. It was something that I never believed I could ever get, and you have the odd play of the match and stuff, or players playing from your squad, but
Yeah.
to for someone else to pick it who doesn't know, yeah, who doesn't watch it often, and all the broadcasters, the Sky broadcasters, it was something that will give me belief within myself for a long time. So yeah,
Yeah. So was there certain things you did in the match that led to that, like certain amount of tackles, force, because you're playing front row, is that right?
front row, yeah, yeah, I was
Yeah.
playing prop. Um, just my work ethic, I think.
Yeah.
I like to do the one percenters a lot, so a lot of push, a
Yeah.
lot of added weight to tackles. I like to take a lot of stress off the team by offering myself up to plays, to running lines,
Yep.
drumming lines. I like to work hard in the middle for defense work. Uh, and I think they must have noticed that, because I think a lot of people that watch, they look at all the try scorers or the people who
Yeah.
do the fancy stuff and who
Yeah.
who finish off. But really, the hard work starts from who gets up and down on that quick play the ball, who keeps that defense together, and
Yeah.
then they're able to play and exploit on the edge and score a try. So people don't see the hard work that goes in from your middles, and it was just nice to be recognised, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to watch out for the middles this year as well. There's going to be some good competition out there.
Yeah. No, I love
Yeah,
watching the middles. Especially I play a lot of those like NRL fantasy sort of games, so I love the stats, and I know the forwards do all the grunt work. That's where it all
yeah,
starts in the forward pack. But especially because you guys gave them a bit of a hiding, like 28-0. So to actually be
yeah.
recognised in a bit of a thrashing is, I think, even better. Like because normally, like you said, it'd be very easy to pick someone who's scored a couple of flash tries out wide and like in a hiding. So pretty cool to
Well,
be
that's it.
recognised.
Yeah, no, that's it. And it's I think it's people who know the theory of the game, or have watched it really closely, or have got a pass with it. I think they notice when someone's doing the right things for their squad, uh, or maybe added to the person scoring the tries, and just the hard work within the middle. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, it was definitely amazing to get.
yeah, pretty special season. Pretty awesome, mate.
It
Getting to
was a
travel.
very, very special season. I actually got myself a little tattoo of it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. Have you got it on
yeah.
your arm there?
So I have. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
let's
it.
let's see it. Oh yeah, brilliant, brilliant.
2021. Yeah,
How good, how good.
yeah. Whacked it on there for life.
Yeah,
Can't stay
man,
away from me. Love it.
absolutely. So you said you also played in the Las Vegas Nines. How good is that? So that's
Yeah,
just recently.
that is recently. That was when did I fly out? We flew out on 28th of Feb, and then we played the 28th, 29th, and the 30th. So this was like a new thing that they put in, and then the NRL did a combine. I think
Yeah,
it was a combine. So like, but it was more for like the American side, so it grows out there. Um,
yeah.
but obviously having played with Canada, I knew some of the girls, and it was just something that I couldn't miss out on.
Wow.
Um, I like who doesn't want to go to Vegas? Like, let's be honest. So I was just like, Vegas, baby, yeah,
Let's go. Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh,
so
wicked.
that was pretty awesome. Met some great people out there. There was some great talent. And yeah, it was quick, it was fast, it kept me going, give me a challenge, and it definitely got me ready for this season. So
Yeah.
I felt really good, felt really strong. Yeah, no, it was awesome, awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Did you hit any casinos just quietly?
Yeah, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, as always.
Of course. Of course it does.
Yeah, of course. So,
Oh, I
but
love it.
yeah, no, we did a bit of that, and obviously we sightseed as well, so that was nice. That was good.
Nice. So, through your career, are there any players that you've particularly loved playing with or against during your career?
Oh, I absolutely love playing with Jodie and Rudge, on well, Emily Rudge on my team. I think we gel really well. We have a lot of banter on the pitch. We kind of read each other's lines very well. Uh, Playing against, we used to call her the jukebox, and she used to
Yeah.
play for New Zealand because
Okay.
she does so many hits. Does so many hits. So, yeah, she was really, really, really powerful. And in my 2017 World Cup, I just remember thinking, God, if I could put a shot on like she does,
Yeah.
like that'll be amazing. And I don't really get fear or whatever. I sort of you get nerves and excitement, but I used to think, right, I sort of overthought about what I needed to do when I was playing around her because I thought you cannot run straight at her or you're just gonna get put on your back. So I was always thinking about footwork and stuff like that. She was probably the biggest competition or the biggest like eye opener, like um yeah, that I've played against. Very, very
Nice.
strong. So
Yeah. Good tough
Yeah,
Kiwi
yeah,
girls. Yep.
yeah, they are very tough. Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you think the women's game is going to keep growing now that there's like finally some financial incentives for girls to play?
Yeah, I think so. I think the way it's going, and the way it's growing, I think that definitely the next generation is going to be way up there with finances and stuff. I don't know whether it happened in my time if I'll be a full-time paid athlete. I hope I am, but I don't know. Anything's possible, but it all depends on sponsorships,
Yeah.
fans, where you're going to take the game, broadcasting, all that. So the more we do, the more we'll get. So yeah, I'm here for it, and I'm here for the journey.
Yep. So, speaking of your time in the game, how many seasons do you reckon you've got left in the legs?
I'm trying to go till I'm at least 40,
Nice.
at least.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my goal. So yeah, we'll see how well that goes. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
Well, if you remember a fella called Steve Menzies, who played for Manly and then he went over to the Catalan Dragons, he played until his like professionally into his early
Yeah,
40s. Yeah, he was a beast.
really.
And he played back row like his
Wow,
whole career. He was unreal. Yeah,
wow. I
try
love
scoring
that.
machine.
If I can still get a place and have a shirt and stuff, then yeah, I'm in. I'm all in,
Awesome.
definitely. I love
Yeah,
it.
make the most of it.
Love it.
Absolutely. Okay,
Oh
so we've got a
yeah.
few fan questions from the Facebook group.
Oh
First
God,
one
here we
is
go.
from my wife, Tracy Carter. If you hadn't moved to the UK, do you think you'd have excelled in a different sport?
I personally think I would have excelled in baseball.
Okay.
I basketball. I love me basketball now. But growing up, yeah, it was a big sport of mine. But baseball, I turned to baseball. Um, when I used to fly back, and yeah, my dad used to coach me and stuff, and I was surprisingly really good and a really good pitcher. So I would have said basketball or baseball. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tony Tibbs wants to know, is there a grassroots footy program in Canada?
Um, I can't be certain about that. I know there's definitely like grassroots to come up through in England, Canada. I don't think there's that much of a pathway yet, and that's why we're trying to grow it everywhere we go. But I can't be definitely certain on that one. Sorry.
That's okay. So Jack Southwood said, Shan, you're an absolute beast. You represent black excellence within rugby so much. Do you think this could be grown further as women's rugby progresses? And do you feel black female players are represented enough in the sport?
Well, thank you very much. That was nice. I I think last couple of seasons when we were like Black Lives Matter and stuff, we had something to stand for, and I felt I felt real privilege in standing for Black Lives Matter and the culture side, and everything that means stuff to Black women and Black culture.
Yeah.
Um, it's a tough one to speak about because there's there's not many in the game. There's
Yeah.
there's there's a few in each team. It is growing, but uh, I don't know, and it's hard because people are putting teams out like you know transsexual ones or some gay men's teams,
Yeah.
things like that. But you don't just want a black squad or a black team being put together because I feel like it's separating people again.
Yeah.
Um, so it's kind of tough. I think I wish we did more maybe, or maybe more on the black culture, the Black History Month maybe, or
Okay.
did a representation game around in that month. That would be phenomenal to see. So maybe we could push for something like that. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one to talk about, and because
Mm.
everyone's mindset on different things is it's all different. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah,
don't want to upset everyone. So yeah,
I suppose you could liken it to, say, how the NRL does the Indigenous round. It's like
yeah,
awesome, like it's fantastic, and that's helped
yeah,
really grow awareness, and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. I think it's harder in England because there's not as many like cultures or tribals or things like that going on.
yeah,
So, but I definitely think around that in like Black History Month or like you say, holding maybe a tribal competition out here where people come over here and do it, that would
yeah.
be good. So let's do it,
Cool.
Dave. Let's get it sorted.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so familiar name here, Alex Famalo. Who's your best friend?
Oh God. What's she doing? She knows it's obviously Alex from Milo.
Correct answer.
Yay. She's testing
Another
me.
familiar name, Jeanette Famalo. She wants to know what has been the highlight of your career.
Oh, oh God, there's so many. Um, it's gotta be winning Wembley. It's
Yeah,
gotta be winning at Wembley. It's just oh, the buzz we had before and after the game. It was just the whole experience to be the first women to play at Wembley, to be the
yeah.
first ones to lift the trophy, to get our third Challenge Cup win.
Cool.
Um, yeah, it was honourable, and yeah, I'll forever hold that memory with me close to my heart. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely the highlight of my career at the minute. Yeah.
Just on that, how big was the crowd for that?
Oh gosh. Oh, now you're asking. Oh. I can't actually remember. I don't know if it was over 8,000, and our last Challenge Cup was around 5,500. So it definitely grew.
Yeah, that's a lot of
I'm
noise.
sure it was around, I'm sure it was over 8,000. But yeah, no,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
it was
impressive.
grand.
I've
Yeah, it was
been
really
to
good.
some games in Auckland here in New Zealand. Watch the Warriors. There's been less people than that, for an NRL game.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and they
But
still make
yeah,
plenty of
well,
noise.
well done us. Well done us.
You done great. So Tony Faitoa, I hope I've said that correctly. You've been to New Zealand twice now. What was your favorite memory being here, and what Kiwi food did you try and like?
Oh, um, gosh. I think I liked where did Alex took me to somewhere where they did like all the war dances and like the tribal dances and
Yeah.
yeah, and it was really really good. Really really enjoyed seeing that cultural side, especially from Alex's family and her culture.
Hmm.
So that was really good. And Kiwi food. Probably chop suey or Ollie's potato salad. So Semi-Fi Milo's mum makes the
Yeah.
best potato salad ever. It's honestly the best thing I've ever tasted. I wanted to bring a bucket home. So
Oh, good.
yeah, one of them, one of them.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so I've got a few fun questions that I always ask all my guests. So, who's your all-time favorite player?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Kevin Sinfield, who
Okay.
played for the league. He's
Yep.
yeah, yeah. What a kicker! What a player! His defense work. I just think he led his team. He led Leeds to a really good career and pathway. He's a phenomenal person as well. Yeah, Kevin Sinfield.
Awesome. Okay, so what is your favorite TV show?
Oh, probably My Wife and Kids. Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, I know the one.
Have you
Yep,
watched
yep,
it?
yep, yeah,
Yeah. My wife and kids. It's just funny, full of banter.
yep.
Yeah, definitely. Size of Junior's head on it. Yeah, it's yeah. My wife and
That's
kids.
good. Okay, our last question is if you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
Oh, damn. It would have to be curry goat, Jamaican curry goat, rice and peas.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I love a
Yeah,
good
it's
carry.
real good.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah,
Oh,
it's the finest. It's the finest.
oh, that's so cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us and myself on the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Yeah, what an amazing career, and you're not even finished.
Thank
You're
you.
still got another 10
No,
years left in those legs.
I have. Well, I'm writing a book as we speak, so it's an autobiography as well. It's going to be called like "There's Only One Channy Crowl."
Awesome.
So hopefully, when my career slows down or when I stop, hopefully, the book will be out there and people can read that as well. So it'll be more in depth.
Awesome. I want my signed copy, please. I'll buy
You
one off you.
definitely can. I'll get one straight to you.
That'll be fantastic. Oh, thank you again, and thank you to everyone for listening out there on Spotify, watching on YouTube. Make sure you jump on the Facebook group, Point of Difference Rugby League, where there's amazing legends on the show and on the platform there. This has been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you, Channy, for coming on the show.
Oh,
Um,
thank you. Thank you for
yeah.
having me. It's been awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you all next time for kickoff.
See you guys. Bye.
Full time.